Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to dig into Law 4 of Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power. Law 4 sounds small, but it changes the whole way people read you. Always say less than necessary. That's not a line about being shy. It's not a line about becoming cold. It's a line about power, because the moment you speak too much, you start giving away things that you never meant to hand over. You give away your doubt, you give away your nerves, you give away your need to be liked. Then you give away the whole shape before the room's even earned it. And once that's happened, people stop hearing your point and start reading your weakness. Think about it like this. Two people get asked the same question. The first person answers in 20 seconds and stops. The second person answers, keeps going, then adds background, then starts explaining why they've said what they've said, then starts defending themselves before anybody's even challenged it. Now watch what happens. The first person looks steady and calm. The second person just looks unsure. That's Law 4 in real life. The short answer carries weight. The long answer starts leaking. That's the law. It's not really about silence, it's about control. Control of your image, control of your message, control of your energy, control of the room. Most people think talking proves confidence. It doesn't, it proves the opposite. It proves discomfort. It proves that they're trying to manage how they're being seen. Confident people usually don't rush to explain every single angle. They say what matters, then they let it stand. They stop at the end. That's powerful. It says, I trust what I've just said. That's why Robert Greene's law works. The more you talk, the more chances you give people to judge you, twist you and challenge you or misunderstand you. The more you explain, the more ordinary you become. You start sounding like somebody trying to win the room, and people can feel that. They might not say it out loud, but they feel it. They feel you reaching, they feel you're over trying, they feel the need, and once they feel that need, your power's gone. So what Law 4 is really saying is this. It's saying words are exposure, so use them with care. Don't speak just because there's a space. Don't explain just because you feel pressure. And don't answer 5 questions when only 1 was asked. Stop filling the silence because silence makes you feel uncomfortable. That's where most people break this law. They can't tolerate that gap. So they rush in, start pouring out too much. Too much details, too much emotions, too much context. Too much defence. Eventually, too much self-exposure. That's how they lose weight in the room. So let's make this practical for everyone. If somebody asks you, can you get that done by Friday? Answer that question. Don't launch into your stress, your workload, your last bad week, your family pressure, and all the other reasons that you feel stretched. Just say yes or no. Or say, I can do Monday, not Friday. That's enough. That's it, nice and clear. It's stronger, it's more useful. That's Law 4. I'm going to give you another one. A lot of people defend themselves before anybody's even attacked them. They walk into a room already explaining, already softening, already trying to reduce tension that's not even there. That kills your authority rapid. If you have a point, make it. If somebody challenges it, answer then. Don't argue with imaginary critics before anybody's even opened their mouth. That's wasted motion. That's wasted energy. It makes you sound like you're carrying fear into a room before the room's giving you any. So let's move on and let's talk about conflict, because this is where the law can become a shield for you. When somebody's angry, emotional, baiting you or trying to pull you into a spiral, too many words will hurt. Why? Because emotional people don't listen better when you explain more. They usually listen worse. They wait for one sentence that they can grab, twist and throw back at you. So when these tense moments arrive, shorter is stronger. I heard you. I disagree. That isn't what happened. I'm not doing this like this. We can talk about it when it's calmer. That kind of language protects you. It keeps you from handing over all your extra material. It keeps the conversation on the tracks you choose. That matters with manipulative people, because that kind of person often asks questions that are not really questions. They're fishing. They want your weak spots. They want your plans. They want your pressure points. They want to know what hurts you, what drives you, what you're trying to do next. And if you answer with your whole life story, you've given them the work. So around people that you don't trust, keep it nice and tight, polite, short, clean, not rude, not cold. just measured. That is the difference. So let's talk now about where to use this law. Use it at work first. Use it in meetings, interviews, negotiations, performance reviews, leadership conversations, or anywhere perception matters. At work, people often think that openness means trust. It doesn't. Clarity builds trust. Calm builds trust. Competence builds trust. And saying less often makes you sound more competent because it removes the nervous clutter. If you're pitching an idea, don't explain it to death. Give the core, give the value, give the next step, then stop. Let the idea breathe. If it's strong, it doesn't need 10 extra paragraphs to survive. Use it in your relationships too, but then use this wisely. Listen, this matters. Law 4 doesn't mean become emotionally unavailable. It doesn't mean stonewalling people you love. It doesn't mean being vain or vague so you can feel powerful. That's not maturity, that's theatre. In relationships, saying less than necessary means choosing your words carefully instead of emotionally flooding the room. It means not saying 5 cruel extra things just because you're angry. It means not turning one issue into a speech about the last 5 years. It means not over-explaining yourself when one honest sentence will do. Here's an example. That hurt me and I need a different tone from you. It's much stronger than a 10-minute emotional dump full of old resentment and side stories. That's Law 4 working inside real connection. Bring it into your social life like this. This is where many people break the law without even noticing. They want to look interesting, so they overtalk. They want to look smart, so they over-explain. They want to look liked, so they overshare. And by the end of the conversation, they've told a near stranger their plan, insecurities, their opinion, their weakness, and the next moves. That's not openness, that's a leak. Real presence does not need endless explanation. If somebody asks what you're working on, you don't owe them the full blueprint. You just say, a few things I care about. You can even say, something I'll talk about when it's ready. You can say, a work in progress, because that is enough. Let people earn more. And that line matters. Let people earn more. One reason this law is so powerful is because it forces you to value your own words. If you say less, what you do start to say carries more weight. Once your words carry more weight, people listen differently. That's what power often looks like in practice. Not noise, not domination, weight, stillness, and precision. The person in the room that doesn't need to fill every silence is the one with the most control over themselves. Self-control is definitely persuasive. It changes the way people read you. And here's a danger, and you must hear this. Some people hear this law and turn it into performance. They become fake and mysterious. They give one-word answers. They stare too long. They act unreadable. Then they try to look powerful. That's not this law. That's theatre. Green's not telling you to become odd. He's telling you to stop wasting your words. If warmth is needed, be warm. If clarity is needed, be clear. If leadership is needed, be direct. The law is not saying, say as little as possible. The law is saying, say less than necessary. That's a huge difference. Necessary means enough to do the job. No more, not leaking, and no padding. No anxiousness. That's the standard. If you want to practice this, start small. In your next conversations, answer the actual questions, then stop. In your next meeting, speak after you've thought, not while you're thinking. In your next disagreement, cut your response in half and keep only the part that's true, useful, and clear. Then watch what changes. You'll notice that people interrupt you less. You'll notice that your words land harder. You will notice that you feel less drained after a conversation. You'll notice that other people reveal more because you're no longer filling the space. And that is one of the hidden gifts of Law 4. When you stop over-talking, other people start telling on themselves. They flip the gap. They explain too much. They reveal their motives. They show their nerves. And all you had to do was stay still long enough to let it happen. That's power, my friends. Not because silence is magic, because most people can't tolerate it. So here you go. Here's the whole law, nice and simple. Don't hand over extra words. Don't explain more than the moment requires. Don't leak the whole strategy, your whole emotion or your whole insecurity into every room that you enter. Speak clearly, speak cleanly, then stop. Law 4 is not about becoming smaller, it's about becoming sharper. And in a word full of noise, the sharp person's usually the one that people remember. Use fewer words. Listen to me when I tell you this. It carries more weight. You take care and stay blessed. This is the way. Namaste.